Yo, what's good everybody? It's the one who never takes a loss, ICECOOLBOSS, your source for the Toronto Raptors. Welcome to the 12th installment in the Raptors series, Post-Kawhi, a series in which I follow the Raptors' road to a new championship. Previous episodes will be in the description down below. The oldest active player in the NBA, 42-year-old Vince Carter, is considering returning to his roots in the Six with the Toronto Raptors.
Vince Carter showing you some of the highlights.
After 21 seasons in the NBA with 8 different franchises, Vince Carter sat down for an interview to discuss his possible return to the Toronto Raptors, and here's what he had to say.
What would it mean to you to go back to Toronto and put a bow on this thing and be a part of that?
It'll be a cool situation. There you go. It's all about if the situation works, if that's something Toronto wants to do. Obviously, the fans.
In the video, Vince exclaims, "It's all about if the situation works," and he goes on to question whether or not the Toronto Raptors fans or the organization would even want his services. Which brings us to the topic of this video. How would Raptors fans react to Vince Carter returning to the Toronto Raptors after all of these years? During Vince Carter's 403-game tenure with the Toronto Raptors, he received 5 All-Star selections and 2 All-NBA selections as well. Vince is also the franchise's leader in points per game with 23.4 a game. Vince is also top 5 in total points scored, blocks, steals, and made 3-pointers for the Raptors franchise. Believe it or not, in the 1998 NBA draft, the Toronto Raptors drafted Anton Jamison with the 4th overall pick, and Vince Carter was actually selected 5th overall by the Golden State Warriors. Amazingly, Vince was traded for his former North Carolina Tar Heels teammate, Anton Jamison. This transaction would herald the age of insanity in Toronto, and the presence of the half-man, half-amazing was felt worldwide. Vince Carter won Rookie of the Year in 1999 when he averaged 18 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists a game. Vince Carter will forever be immortalized for the legendary slam dunk contest he won in 2000. Vince's arsenal of dunks were on full display. The incredible dunking exhibition included a reverse 360 windmill, the famous elbow in the rim dunk, and who could forget about the infamous through the legs dunk.
So he's stitched up in the left hand doing all this.
Vince Carter capped off his excellent year with the Toronto Raptors by getting swept by the New York Knicks in the first round of the playoffs. However, Vince won a gold medal with Team USA that summer. Later in Vince's tenure with the Raptors, he would go on to miss the series-winning shot against the Philadelphia 76ers led by Allen Iverson. In the closeout game, Vince Carter only had 20 points and shot a abysmal 33% from the field. This shot was a mirror image of the series-winning shot by Kawhi Leonard against the Philadelphia 76ers this year. Vince was eviscerated in the media and was blamed for the loss. Earlier in the day, Vince attended his university graduation ceremony at North Carolina. Many people thought he was selfish, and others thought he was a great role model for young student athletes across the world. Vince had an excellent career with the Toronto Raptors, and by the time he left, he was easily the greatest Raptor of all time. Unfortunately, his Raptors career will forever be marred by the way in which he left the Raptors. You see, Vince became known as Vince Carter because he started getting a lot of injuries, which kept him sidelined for large stretches of the season. This led people to believe he was faking injuries to avoid playing for the team. Vince was also seen in an interview saying he didn't want to dunk anymore.
Years back, you used to get to the foul line a lot more. You used to get a lot of dunks inside.
I don't want to dunk anymore.
Why not?
For what?
Get fouled, go to the free throw line.
You can get up, you can make a layup and get fouled and take a free throw line.
But if you look, you see you're not getting to the free throw line as often as you used to.
Sorry, Barry. I'll go work on it.
Coming from the man who could dunk on anyone, This was certainly a red flag for Raptors fans everywhere, as it showed Vince had lost the desire to play for the Raptors. Also, Vince supposedly told opposing team Seattle Supersonics what play the Toronto Raptors were going to run in the final minutes of a Raptors loss, which prompted rookie head coach of the Raptors, Kevin O'Neal, to tell Vince he will run him out of the league if he ever did that again. A month after this incident occurred, Rob Babcock, the GM of the Raptors, traded Vince Carter in what would go down as the worst Raptors trade in franchise history. In exchange for Vince Carter, the Raptors received Eric Williams, Alonzo Mourning, and Aaron Williams, as well as 2 first-round draft picks. Alonzo Mourning was immediately cut from the team as he made it abundantly clear that he had no intention of playing basketball in Canada. The 2 Williams in the trade combined to play less than 100 games for the Toronto Raptors. The first-round pick that the Raptors received was the mediocre Joey Graham. The other first-round pick the Raptors received, they traded it to the New York Knicks. To add insult to injury, Vince went from averaging 16 points per game in his final season with the Raptors to a Burger King whopping 27 points per game on the New Jersey Nets. This only added more fuel to the fire that Vince was faking his injury to get out of Toronto. Vince was later seen saying in an interview that he doesn't think he gave it his all in Toronto.
Do you think Vince Carter has pushed himself as hard as he should have pushed himself?
In years past, no.
From Vince's perspective, he saw the Raptors as an anemic franchise who couldn't build a team properly around him, which made him want to leave. All of these factors combined have led us to this seminal moment. The question is, should the Raptors organization consider taking back Vince Carter? On one hand, Vince is one of the greatest Raptors of all time, and this old saying goes that everyone deserves a second chance. I also believe the way in which Vince Carter left was not very professional, as it left a very bad taste in many people's mouths. Time may heal all wounds, but time doesn't heal scars. And I believe Vince left a scar on the franchise by leaving in the way he did. Vince's departure created waves around the league, which made Toronto an undesirable team to play for in NBA's players' minds for years and years, and still to this day. Even after the Raptors have become NBA champions, they are still being disrespected in the media on a daily basis.
To this day! To this day!
Enough of what I think. Let me know what you think. Will the Raptors open their arms once more to Vince Carter? What was the real reason Vince Carter left in the first place? And finally, how would veteran Vince Carter benefit the young Raptors roster? Let me know in the comment section down below. That's it for today's video. Take it easy. Like, subscribe, hit that bell icon to be notified when I provide new NBA content.